Today I'm on the Mazda booth at the Bangkok Motor Show. You can see Mazdas all around me. You can see halls full of cars. And in fact, right opposite we have the Porsche booth, and there we have Mercedes. But I want to leave all those Mercedes, all those Porsches, and all these Mazdas, crossovers, sedans, everything going on, because I want to show you one car, this. It's the Mazda Iconic SP. It's a concept car from Mazda. And there's two reasons I want to show you this car today. One reason, it is absolutely stunning. And the second reason is, it's headed to production. That is absolutely amazing. Mazda are going to produce this car. It's going to blow you away. So what I want to do is I want to take you for a walk around it, because Mazda brought it to Thailand for the Bangkok Motor Show as a halo. In amongst all these cars, it is a real halo. It is one of the stars. So before it starts to get super crowded and I cannot get in there, and you can see they're cleaning up this booth, ready to go. I'm going to take you for a quick walk around this, and I apologize, there is a giant screen behind. So we're going to get a bit of flicker in this video, and usually I try to avoid the flicker, but today I cannot, because we've got the car and we've got a massive screen. I need to go and take you for a walk around. We'll start right at the front. You can see a lot of the Mazda design language in there, and the first thing that strikes you is these pop-up light covers. Kind of really like the 90s. We're back to that with these light covers that pop up. Not quite the full pop-up lights. The cover actually pops up and the headlight is underneath and is a thin bar. Please, Mazda, keep these lights when you hit production, because that just looks fantastic. It looks really wide, and you can see how it sweeps up onto the wings. It's a real sweep on the bonnet, and the bonnet comes down really low because it's got that EV and rotor inside. It's small, it's low, it's compact. So we should also mention the grille as well, because it's quite an interesting pattern. It's kind of got like right angle pieces sticking out. It's probably like triangular shaped pieces making up the grille. And then at the side, we've got air intakes on either side, and then a big Mazda badge in the front. The only thing I'd say I don't like is they've put this piece in to try and create the Mazda family design feel. You can see this bar, it's like the bottom of the production grills on all these cars. And to be honest, they've shoehorned it in to give it the whole Mazda family feel, but it doesn't really work. So I would definitely say, Mazda, if you can do when you build a car, the only thing I would change is get rid of that red piece of plastic. Then you're going to have this massive gaping mouth in there, and that's going to look really aggressive. And you know me, I like things like the Bomex body kits, stuff like that. It's going to look really cool. And then it's got a very subtle splitter on the front. You can see the whole bumper. It comes down and then it curves in, and then they've got a very thin splitter. They haven't gone overboard. It's very neat, very clean, and a very 90s feel. But we move away from the front, and in fact, just show you here, you can see the shape on that is absolutely fantastic. Then we get round to the side, and man, that is amazing. You can see the wing, it swings out towards the wheel arch in every direction. It's absolutely pure and clean and sweeping, and I love this. They have not gone fussy, they have not gone overboard. And then we need to look at the wheels, because it's running on these big 19-inch rims, and they've got these composite aero pieces slotted in around it, kind of what a lot of OEMs do. People like Porsche do that kind of thing now, and it manages the airflow, it improves the airflow. And this car really looks like it's going to have good aerodynamics. Anyway, it's running on 235/35 19-inch Bridgestone tires. Looks fantastic. A kind of really futuristic, really aggressive wheel that fits the whole pattern of this car. And then again, we can see this angle, the way it sweeps back and it sweeps in and it sweeps out to the rear wheel. And then you've got a skirt which is horizontal as well. So it kind of matches the front splitter going right round into that side skirt, and it kind of chops off the way that curves in. And then we can see these tiny mirrors that are mounted kind of where a quarter light would be, but here the glass goes right into the corner, and you can just see it's got a single camera in the corner. Or maybe the production one, they'll change that. But what they've said over and over again is that they didn't build this as a concept, they built this as a production car. So hopefully they're not going to change it too much, because you always get that when OEMs create a concept car, it looks fantastic, and then when they try to find a platform to put it on, they're stretching out the hard points, they're reducing costs by recycling parts from the parts bin, they lose it all. Anyway, Mazda say this was built for production in mind, so hopefully it's not going to change much. I hope so. And we can see here, going back to it, the door, and how that door rakes down at the front at an almost 45-degree angle. It's a swan style door, so it flips up. You can see they've got a band going around the top of the windscreen, and that kind of giving it like a little bit of that coupe roadster feel off an MX-5. So that band there looks quite good the way it comes down the door, and it kind of covers the bases. So if you want to call this an MX-5, you're halfway there already. So we need to have a look in that cockpit, and first of all, this viola red, kind of Mazda style nowadays, and kind of gives that whole Ferrari feel. It contrasts with this kind of blue purple interior that looks really, really good. And you can see we've got this huge dashboard here, so clearly everything is set back as far as possible to get the center of gravity low and the balance in the middle. And you can see we've got this Mazda composite material in here, this kind of recycled style material. And then we look at this, just a light frame around the instruments, kind of jet fighter style, what you'd expect on a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. It looks fantastic, and everything is covered in this kind of like purple Alcantara. Then we look, it's got a really thick racing style wheel with paddle shifters on it, and it's got Alcantara round the steering wheel. It's got some chrome on it and a black boss. It's got a real purposeful racing feel. A really high center trunking with what look like some slide switches in the middle, and a start stop which is kind of just embossed into the panel, and you're just going to push it and it's going to make a contact. So there isn't actually a switch, you're just pushing the panel. Then it's got these kind of bucket style race seats with a fabric in it that looks pretty nice, and a different weave on the support parts, the lumbar support parts, the shoulder and the side body support parts on the side. Looks absolutely amazing. And then the red comes right in the door and right through the back, and you can see it coming right here, this red off the outside matching onto the interior. This may be the handle on the inside, and this kind of looks like the handle on the outside. I'm not 100% sure, but it's so neat and beautiful. And this is really like the old classic cars, kind of like say an Alfa Romeo 105, where the door sweeps inside and it's got a real curve to it. Absolutely beautiful. And the whole door comes right out. Kind of see it on the other side, how the door card, it recesses in and then it comes out. Absolutely beautiful, purposeful cockpit. We can see more of this material here, and in fact the whole frame of the seat is made out of this Mazda biomaterial. Try and hold my phone up a bit closer so you can see the whole shell of the seat is all done like that. And it also looks like the seat belts have got a different style, a round style, rather than that bayonet that you get on just about every car going. And in the back we can see the Alcantara comes right round, and we've got this Mazda biomaterial here, and we've got these alloy strips in it. Kind of looks very neat. It kind of looks like it's got air suspension or something like that in it. And then we get to the back end, and that is just unbelievable. I really, really love this. It's kind of got a lot of Lotus in the back there, a lot of Ferrari in the back there. It's a beautiful coupe back end, and it feels really, really Mazda. I should say it's also got a lot of MX-5 in the back end. Now these lights, to be honest, they look a bit strange to me. I don't think that really works super well, but you've got to do things differently, and design has to grow on you. So while I'm not quite sure about those lights, they're certainly different, they're certainly unique, and that's what you need to do. And just while we're here, they've also got a Mazda 6e on the booth in this really nice bronze, and we can see all that light bar on the back. Looks really cool, looks big, looks really imposing. That is making its debut at the motor show, and there's a charging station right there. But we need to stick with this. And on the back end, we've got these two slats coming down here, which I'm not quite sure what they do. And then we've got this big horizontal kind of
panel coming across, and you can see it's actually open here. So the air is funneled under the car and through this. And I like this as well. It's really kind of neat. I mean, we've probably got enough diffusers on the planet that rise up and you've got those vertical planes in them. So something a little bit different to manage the airflow out the back is really, really nice. Absolutely love this. Just going to jump off here and stand back and let you have a bit of a wider look, because that is absolutely amazing. I mean, Mazda really, they're on a roll with design. You look at all their cars around here, they're doing good stuff, and this is going to raise the bar, and this is headed for production. That is absolutely epic news, and I am super looking forward to that coming. The story so far, basically, it dropped at the Japanese Mobility Show in 2023. That's just 15 months ago. So to get from its covers off for its world premiere to Thailand is pretty good going, and that is immediately one hint that they're going to build this car, because they want customers looking, they want customers seeing that, getting it in their mind, and then when it drops, they already know the car. And to be honest, they want people stunned and shocked, and that's what's happened this week. For sure, they're going to find buyers in this market, although as a CBU import, for sure it's going to be. The taxes will be sky high, but it's still going to find buyers here. And there is a huge passion for Rotary. There's a huge passion for Mazda. This has a mix of EV and Rotary. It's kind of the best of both worlds. And it's Mazda also going their own way as usual. Mazda, they're a small company. They do things their own way, and their customers respond to that. And they love it, and they have a huge brand loyalty. And you just look around at all these cars. These are decent cars. They have a cracking range. They have their place in Thai customers' hearts. They have a base here, and this is going to sell in small numbers for sure, but they will ship them out here. So this is really rocking up Mazda's DNA. It's going to have a 2-rotor hooked up to an electric motor. So you've got the old world and you've got the new world coming together. And Mazda wanted to do Rotary for years, and they kept teasing us there'll be a new Rotary, a new RX-7. It's never happened, because you just cannot do Rotary in this day and age, although the customers are crying out for it. So this is the solution, and they'll use the electric motor, and then the Rotary basically will be like a range extender. And what they say is you'll be able to use alternative fuels in it. You'll also be able to use hydrogen in it. So you've got something that is hybrid, and as the world's gone crazy EV and then kind of rowing back to hybrid, and especially sports car buyers, they want the hybrid. They still want the ICE engines. This falls in the middle, and it ticks everyone's boxes. So we should just look at the design and some of the influences on it, because immediately it says RX-7, RX-8 and MX-5, and it's kind of somewhere in the middle of that. It's about 10 centimeters shorter than the FD3S, the 90s icon, and it's about 20 centimeters longer than the MX-5, which is just sitting round the corner. I'll go and have a look at it in a minute, but you can see it right over there. So they haven't decided really whether this is going to be an RX-7 replacement or maybe shrunk down a little bit and an MX-5 replacement. It's kind of replacing both, but it's somewhere in the middle at the moment. They haven't finalized exactly where they're going on that score. Certainly the MX-5 needs replacing, and the RX-7, the RX-8, man, their customers have been waiting years for something, begging Mazda to build something. So whichever direction they go to, they are going to have customers absolutely screaming out for this car. It's actually very, very 90s in its feel. Leaving aside all the Mazda influences on it, immediately I saw it, it reminds me of the Alfa Romeo concept cars, things like the 33 Stradale, the 70s, 80s Alfa Romeo designs, really reminds me of that a lot. And also the Opel GT, which is kind of the end of the 60s, beginning of the 70s. A lot of classic design influence, but all modernized. And you see with these kind of like the headlight covers and this grille, the wheels and the skirts and everything, a real modern touch to an absolute classic car. Now it's going to weigh in about 1,450 kilos, and Mazda say
It'll have about 370 horsepower. Now 370 horsepower, it's not shocking these days for a sports car, but in a 1,450 kilo car, it's going to be a lot of fun. So while we're looking at this car, we also look at some of the dimensions. The wheelbase is 2590 millimeters, the length 4.180 millimeters, the width 1.850, the height 1150. The advantage using that twin rotor means they can have a smaller battery and a smaller motor, so they reduce the weight. It's all low down and it's more compact, and they can push it back. You can see by that dashboard so far back, this has been packaged for optimum handling. So the boxes are really ticked on this car. Mazda are finally, after years and years of trying to build a sports car, trying to work in their heritage, it seems that they have finally worked out how they can do it, how they can get the Rotary into it, how they can get the EV into it, how they can get their family styling, the classic styling, the MX-5, the RX-7, the RX-8, the whole lot, all ticked off. So it's going to appeal to a lot of people. So is this another false dawn? Is this Mazda hoping, wanting to build something, but they can't make it work? Well, it seems they really have made it work, and they're very quietly confident about this car. So I went on the internet and I grabbed some recent quotes of their executives, which I'm going to read out to you now, which leave it completely clear what is going to happen. So Mazda's chief designer said last year, this concept is not just one of those empty show cars. It has been designed with real intent to turn it into a production model in the not too distant future. And then the company CEO, we still persist in making it happen. We are marching towards it step by step. That's pretty clear language from a CEO. And then the chief executive at Mazda's R&D strategy planning division said, the more time you spend looking at it, the more the car will reveal to you, which I agree with totally. I've only been here 10 minutes, man, and I am just absorbing this car. And then he adds, everything from the position of the doors and tyres to the length of the vehicle, the seating position, the occupants, and the visibility was meticulously researched before reaching the final specifications. Meticulously researched. This is not some show car thrown together for a motor show to attract punters on the stand and then get them into these things. This is the real deal. So I wanted to take you for a quick walk around this car because it's come to the motor show. It's only 15 months old. They're going to build it. I needed to show you that car. So thanks for watching. As I always say, if you got this far, really appreciate it. If you like my video, please hit the like button. I appreciate that. And for loads more content on the motor show, drop down into my videos. I've done a load of content on the best cars of the motor show. And please subscribe because I come to the motor show every year and bring you what's going on. But for now, I gotta go. See you next time.